President Tinubu renamed University of Maiduguri after former President Muhammadu Buhari. On the foreign scene, wildfires force evacuations near Madrid as civil guard leads response. And in sports, coach Justin Magudu expresses confidence in team's quality as Super Falcons gears up for major showdown against Zambia. And now the details. I am Mike James. The Legacy government has renewed its call for greater investment in youth empowerment as part of activities marking the 2025 World Population Day. The event, hosted by the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Alausa, Ikeja, was held under this year's global theme, Empowering Young People to Create the Families They Want in a Fair and Hopeful World. Permanent Secretary Olayin Kauju, who was represented by a director in the ministry, Mobolaji Onimole, described young people as key drivers of innovation and national growth. She commended Governor Sanwo-Olu's expansion of the Themes Plus agenda, which now includes youth inclusion and gender equality. Lagos Coordinator, United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, Abigail Msemburi, pointed to economic hardship and lack of healthcare as major barriers stopping young people from building families. Msemburi called for more investment in youth employment, childcare, and sexual education. Also speaking, former UNFPA head Omoseng Omolasho added that global instability, climate change, and rising living costs are reshaping how young adults view relationships and parenthood. On his part, the State Director of the National Population Commission, Bamidele Sadiku, urged youths to pair academic learning with practical skills to boost employability. The Legacy Christians Pilgrims Welfare Board has reiterated its commitment to community service beyond its core mandates of organizing pilgrimages. Speaking during a live program on Lagos television, the board secretary, Bolabo Okudero, said the board has sustained its monthly intervention exercise as part of its corporate social responsibility. Dr. Okudero explained that the initiative provides financial support to individuals in need, describing it as the board's way of stretching out arms of love to make a positive impact in the society. In one of its recent interventions in Ikorodu, a resident, Raphael Abiodun, received a cash donation to support his health challenges. The board secretary assured that Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board remains dedicated to promoting the welfare of Lagosians through consistent outreach and support. The Legacy government has announced that the enforcement of the Lekki Ekpe electronic call-up system will now commence on August 1. The Ministry of Transportation in a statement also said the electronic call-up charge will now be 10,000 naira as against the 12,500 naira per truck that was announced. The new kick-off date and new rate for the e-call-up were agreed during a recent stakeholders meeting with the state government. The e-call-up commencement was initially postponed from March to June 2025 and was later postponed again after truckers protested against the 12,500 naira levy imposed on trucks. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has commended the Nigeria Police for its initiative in establishing response centers dedicated to addressing school-related emergencies across the country. Chief Press Secretary to the President of NANS, Michael Oyewole, in a statement said the efforts demonstrated the police commitment to safeguarding the lives of students, teachers, and educational infrastructure, aligning with the federal government's Safe Schools initiative and the Renewed Hope agenda. The students' body applauded the Inspector General of Police, Kaide Egbetokun, for his visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to ensuring that schools remain sanctuaries of learning and growth. And now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has announced the renaming of the University of Maiduguri in Borno State in honor of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The announcement came on Thursday during an expanded Federal Executive Council meeting held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, where Tinubu led tributes for his predecessor. With Buhari's family and former ministers in attendance, President Tinubu praised Buhari as a man of deep integrity whose quiet personal life revealed his true greatness as a humble, sincere, and principled personality. Meanwhile, the president is expected in Kano today to commiserate with the government and people of the state following the death of elder statesman and business mogul Aminu Dantata. The visit was confirmed in a statement from the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Tofa, who described it as a gesture of national unity and deep respect for Dantata's legacy. The late industrialist was widely known for his contributions to business, philanthropy, and national development. Medical doctors in Ekiti and Ondo State have rejected a recent circular by the federal government reviewing allowances for health workers, describing the move as obnoxious and a violation of existing agreements. The chapters of the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) in both states said they would resist the policy, warning that failure to withdraw the circular within the 21-day ultimatum issued by the national body could trigger a nationwide strike. The controversial circular, issued on June 27, 2025 by the National Salary, Income and Wages Commission, reportedly outlined an upward review of allowances for health workers. Meanwhile, the NMA argued that the policy distorts previously agreed salary relativity between doctors and other health professionals. They also raised concerns over the worsening brain drain, poor remuneration, and increased workload in Nigeria's healthcare sector. The NMA said it was closely monitoring the situation and will not hesitate to take further action if the circular is not withdrawn. The federal government has suspended the recruitment process into its paramilitary agencies such as the Nigeria Immigration Service, Federal Fire Service, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, as well as Nigerian Correctional Service. In a statement by the Board Secretary to the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire and Immigration Services, Abdul Malik Jibril, the application portal will be reopened on Monday, July 21. The Board Secretary explained that the suspension would help ensure the system can efficiently handle the high volume of applications and allow for a smooth, transparent and fair recruitment process. And in some foreign news, wildfires in Spain, Toledo region have forced dozens of residents to evacuate, with the civil guard leading emergency operations. People living in Mentrida and Calipo were ordered to leave their homes as fast as moving flames approached residential areas, burning through vast forested zones. Authorities say about 2,500 hectares have been scorched so far. Strong winds have worsened the situation, sending thick smoke drifting towards the capital, Madrid, raising air quality concerns. Firefighters remain on high alert as efforts continue to bring the blaze under control. And over to sports news, the Super Falcons are gearing up for a major showdown today as they face Zambia in the first quarterfinal of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Head coach Justin Madugu says he is fired up by the team's quality, with Nigeria's status as the dominant force in African women's football once again on the line. The match kicks off at the Labi Zaoli Stadium in Casablanca, the same venue where the Falcons secured top spot in their group with 7 points as Zambia arrive with momentum to finishing second in their group with 7 points in the top pool that included host Morocco and Senegal. Today's clash marks the fourth WAFCON meeting between the two sides. While Nigeria holds the historical edge, Zambia took the bragging rights last time out, beating the Falcons 1-0 in the 2022 third-place playoff. Before that, Nigeria had crushed the Copper Queens twice, 6-0 in 2014 and 4-0 in 2018. That was our news at 10. Just before we go, always drive within the specified speed limit. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on my Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration strengthened alliance with 200 representatives from various women-focused NGOs in the state as part of efforts to alleviate the economic plight of women residents in the state? Well, you can get more details on the Lagos government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The The Legacy government has renewed its call for greater investment in youth empowerment as part of activities marking the 2025 World Population Day. President Bola Tinubu has announced the renaming of University of Maiduguri in Borno State in honor of former President Muhammad Buhari. We also told you that wildfires in Spain's Toledo region have forced dozens of residents to evacuate, with the civil guard leading emergency operations. And in sports, as Nigeria gears up for a major showdown today against Zambia, Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu said he was fired up by the team's quality, with Nigeria's status as the dominant force in African women's football once again on the line. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayodu Olaya. Thank you, Lagos, for listening. Good morning. My name is Mike James.